Have you ever felt like something was off, but couldn't quite put your finger on it? As if you were being controlled, blamed, and slowly losing yourself. In a relationship that seemed harmless on the surface, it's not because you're weak. It's not because you're crazy. You might be the target of a toxic narcissist. These people don't use fists. They use sweet words, well-timed silence, in a twisted version of the truth that makes you doubt your own memory. But today, you're going to discover one single phrase, simple as it may sound, that has the power to shatter a narcissist from the inside out. A phrase that, once you say it, they will never be able to control you again. And the most powerful part is this: you don't need to argue. You don't need to scream. You just need to understand and speak it at the right moment. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to unmask a narcissist. You'll reclaim your emotional power, your mental clarity, and your personal freedom. They fear you, not because you're dangerous, but because you've awakened. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear might just change your life forever. A narcissist doesn't live on love. They live on illusion. One they create and force others to believe. They're not strong, they're sophisticated. They wear masks. When they want to be loved, they become charming. When they want sympathy, they play the broken soul. When they seek control, they turn cold and intimidating, but it's all a performance. And the performance only works as long as you believe it's real. Their world is a stage, and you are either the audience or the puppet. So what happens when you look them in the eye and say, "I see you for who you really are"? That's the refusal to play your role. It's the rejection of the entire script they so carefully wrote. It's the moment you step out of their web of deception and the light of truth shines directly on who they truly are. For a healthy person, truth may hurt, but it liberates. For a narcissist, truth exposes the emptiness inside. It strips away their only real weapon, control over how others perceive reality. They can no longer manipulate you with guilt, with pity, or with rage, because you no longer doubt yourself. And when that doubt disappears, they have nothing left to hold on to. That's why they fear you, not because you're dangerous, not because you're confrontational, but because you understand you've stepped outside of the narrative they wrote. You've become the main character in your own life. And to them, nothing is more terrifying than someone who's awakened. When you say those words, "I see you for who you really are," don't expect silence or acceptance, because a narcissist never bows their head. They'll go into defense mode. They'll deny. They'll retaliate. They'll look you dead in the eyes and start whispering things that make you doubt your own mind. They might say, "You're just being paranoid. Why do you always think the worst of me? You're too sensitive. You're making this up." And when those lines no longer work, they'll shift tactics. They'll suddenly become the heartbroken victim. They'll cry, apologize, bring up the good times, or worse, turn to those around you and say, "She's the toxic one." They know how to manipulate emotions. They know how to isolate you. They know how to make you feel like the villain in their story. In the world of relationships, there exists a certain type of person who simultaneously draws you in while stripping away your self-confidence: the narcissist. They're not just individuals who love themselves excessively. They are master manipulators, artists, painting a version of life where they are always the center of the canvas. But behind the shimmering mask, what lies beneath? Let's peel back the layers of the narcissist, not to pity them, but to recognize and protect ourselves from their ever-expanding ego that suffocates everything in its path. First layer, the deadly charm. A narcissist never enters your life quietly. They arrive like a storm, sweeping you into a whirlwind of attention and admiration. With the perfect smile, the confident gaze, and the smooth voice, they make you feel special, at least in those first few moments. But make no mistake, this is no accident. Psychologist Robert Hare once described personality disordered individuals, including narcissists, as social chameleons. They read you like an open book and swiftly mold themselves into your ideal fantasy. Need to feel heard? They'll listen intently. Crave compliments? They'll shower you with them like sweet spring rain. So sweet you forget it's all scripted. But don't be fooled. This charm isn't for you. It's a tool to feed their ego. When they look at you, they don't see you, they see a mirror reflecting their own greatness. And when that mirror fogs, they won't hesitate to discard you in search of a shinier surface. Second layer, a fragile ego like glass. Don't be deceived by the confidence. Beneath the arrogance lies an ego as fragile as overheated glass. They live in constant fear, not of being seen for who they are, but of being revealed as someone ordinary, unremarkable, without external validation. Every criticism, no matter how small, is a dagger to that fragile shell. Ever tried offering feedback to a narcissist? You'll notice their reaction is rarely reasoned debate. It's full-blown assault, denial, blame shifting, and even turning you into the ultimate enemy. Psychologist Otto Kernberg called this narcissistic rage. When threatened, they don't just defend their image, they attack to destroy the source of their insecurity. You're not just wrong, you're stupid, jealous, or worse, unworthy. This fragility explains why they never truly apologize. If they say sorry at all, it's performance, not remorse. Because sincere remorse requires a heart capable of giving. And theirs has little to offer. Third layer, the cold absence of empathy. It's if you're hoping for emotional understanding from a narcissist, prepare to be disappointed. It's not that they can't feel, they just don't care. Empathy to them is a foreign concept, a tool they pretend to use when convenient, but never truly absorb. When you're in pain, they might pat your back, say the right things, but their eyes are elsewhere, usually inward. How does this affect me? That's the only question they ask even as you crumble. This absence of empathy is no accident. It's the natural outcome of a mind locked in a universe where there's only one star. It's themselves. Everyone else, including you, is just a satellite orbiting, existing only to serve and glorify. And when you stop fulfilling that role, they'll cast you out of their orbit without hesitation. Think back to the last time you shared your sadness with them. Did they truly listen? Or did the conversation quickly shift to their own greatness? Fourth layer, the endless need for control. A narcissist doesn't just want admiration, they want domination. Every relationship is a chess game where they must play white, move first, and control the board. They manipulate with praise, with silence, with unexpected bursts of anger. Ever found yourself apologizing for something that wasn't your fault just to keep the peace? That's their seed of doubt growing in your mind. Their control isn't limited to words. They manipulate your emotions, turning you into a puppet in the play they direct. Try to pull away and they'll reel you back in with sweet promises or subtle threats. No one understands you like I do, they'll say. But the truth is, no one wounds you quite like they do, unmasking the truth. So who is the narcissist when all the layers are stripped away? They're not monsters, nor are they misunderstood geniuses. They are wounded children trapped in adult bodies, desperate to be loved but incapable of loving in return. Their arrogance is their shield. Their manipulation, their weapon, and their inflated ego, a prison they built for themselves. Don't feel sorry for them. Narcissism is not an excuse for the damage they cause. To recognize a narcissist is not about revenge. It's about protection. Watch how they treat you when the spotlight fades, when there's no audience left to applaud. If all you see is emptiness and entitlement, walk away, because to the narcissist, you were never a lover, a friend, or an equal. You were fuel, and once the fuel runs out, they'll let you burn.